But that's kind of my, my rig. It's not overly complicated, and I've tried to buy, and assemble a board that colors the sound, but in a mostly transparent kind of way. It seems like, I don't like that. I don't really like the sound of the guitar to be colored too much. Sometimes I kind of I can't say that. I use a little modulation on my guitar these days, and that colors it a little bit more. But everything else is pretty, I just want a good fundamental sound. It's something that doesn't mess too much with the attack, that I. Yeah, that's the pedal board. It's, small compared to some, I guess, and, like quadruple or, 6 times as much as maybe a lot of other jazz guitar players. But it's what I like playing with, so. Yeah. You with your hand up in the pink tie, red checker tie.
Yeah. I have a question for bass and drums, kind of.
Yeah.
Just for like basic trio playing. How do you handle it if like the bass and drums are kind of like drifting apart and like not necessarily playing together? Like, what do you do to kind of get back to getting into it?
Well, it's a little hard with Phil.
How do we get back together? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think of it as like listening to, like just checking in with the bass for a minute. We're really listening to each other like every note the whole time. So, when I'm listening to him solo, I'm listening to him play 8 notes sometimes. How many 8 notes do a quarter note? 2, right? And so I can, even if, no matter what happens, I can follow what's going on over here. And so I'm not just playing and going, oh, I hope we're together. I hope we're together. Because, he might do some different things and, and then I want to kind of interact with that. So the only way I can do that is really by listening to every note. So I think if the bass is focused on the drums should focus on the bass. It's really hard to just, kind of drift apart unless people are not listening to them.
Yeah. For me, I would say I would agree with all of that. And when I first moved to New York out of high school, I had an opportunity to go to Italy with a group of students at the college I was going to, and I was the youngest. Everybody else was like seniors, I think. And so I was the new guy. I really wanted to, fit in and not be a drag to play with. So I really tried to make it my goal every time I played with the drummer to watch his ride cymbal. And I would just stare at the ride cymbal as long as I needed to until it felt good, And so that's listening is always crucial. And I'm listening to trying to listen to the finest detail of what the drummer is doing. But when I feel like that's not working, I'll look at the ride cymbal. I'll do that anyway, just to check in. I'm usually kind of looking over the drums a fair amount. But especially when I feel like it's not quite locking up, that's a really important one for me. Looking at the ride cymbal, or if you're not playing the ride cymbal, looking at it's like some other part of the set, So, yeah. Got a question over here? Yeah.
Could you guys talk about your approach to the harmony in a trio? Because it sounds so rich and full all the time when you solo. And how do you do that with just 2 string players?
Well, for you.
That's not only, no. The thing is, if, I'm playing chords, but I don't know if you guys could hear his question because he was off to the side. He was asking kind of how we approach, the harmonic aspect of playing trio to get it to sound full. If I wasn't there, you'd hear all the harmony, you'd hear all the chords being played on the bass. Even though it's not recorded in real time, it's more of a horizontal thing. And it's interesting how it does sound full with guitar and bass because of the timbres. Because a lot of time I don't play a lot of big chords. If we were playing that, let's with three of us, just just the chorus, the points in after the intro line.
Okay.
One,
Yeah.
two, two notes, three notes. Yeah, it's like we got a little scandalous there, and I played like four notes, right? And that's the drop two down on the lower four strings. I had a teacher one time was like said, man, you never play drop twos on the bottom four strings. You know, I don't know, it works, right down. You know, so so I, you know, no disrespect, but like every once in a while, you know, this voice seems to sound really great. So it's, I think more it's like kind of maybe understanding the strategic parts of the chord to play that will round out what's going on in the bass. So what was that first thing I played? I played like a D6 chord. The chord is usually written like D or D major 7. I played D6. So when you're playing that one, two, one, and I'm playing a B, an A, and a B. So it's the fifth and the sixth and the third. 1, 2, 4. Then I went to maybe I think I put that right. That's the third, the seventh, and then 11th, right? So I'm just, you know, I'm kind of strategically picking the notes that will just color what he's doing. And it does kind of create this illusion sometimes that there's more, you know, going on. Yeah. Yeah, it's a great question.